What's up, everybody? So while the Tau Codex has come out, which I don't own yet, I'll get it eventually, but it's not in the works to get right away. And the Necron Codex preview happened and it's up for pre-order currently, as is this Ramble, and I really want to get that. Even though that has happened, and I want to talk about some of that stuff as well as the chapter tactic effect. I think again, because I think I talked about it a while ago. I do want to instead have this ramble dedicated to the studio preview that GW did and announced it of very recently. Chock full of a lot of goodies, both for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which I won't be going over because I know nothing about that stuff, but this stuff looked cool there, as well as stuff for 40k, which, hey, that's what I talk about mostly on this channel, so there we go. To get some basic stuff out of the way kind of quickly, not because it's not worth mentioning, just because there's not much to say around it. Combat roster is coming. Combat roster is basically going to be like War Scroll Builder for, say, Age of Sigmar, but it's going to be for 40k. And I do think that that'll be cool. It's a free online tool, and anything free is always interesting to at least check out. And you might find it pretty useful for you. I don't know. It's going to be cool, though, to just have resources out there. The more resources, the better. The model, the exclusive event miniature, that looks pretty sharp. It's a Space Marine holding a power sword and his helmet in both of his hands, and I like the posing. It feels good. I think it's cool. Obviously, it's Space Marine. Clearly, non-Space Marine fans rolling their eyes, but it's almost guaranteed to be that. So it just looks cool regardless. Well, not a announcement for studio reveal stuff. I do want to make a special mention to Mechanicus, the video game, the first like mechanical themed video game I think ever for 40k. Really cool concept, really cool potential. Visuals really nice. They fight against Necrons, so it's very fitting why they're there and what they're fighting against and all that. I encourage people to check it out for the pure reason that, hey, it's a video game in the 40k universe, which we like, and if you're a Mechanical fan and you like video games, hey, it's worth checking out. I will say for me, it's a little disappointing because it's turn-based. I'm not a turn-based guy. When it comes to video gaming, I prefer the real-time stuff. This is why, as big of a BattleTech fan as I am, and MechWarrior and all that, I haven't gotten into the BattleTech video game, this turn-based game that has come out or has been out for a little bit or is still in the war. I forget. You can play it now. I know that much. It's turn-based. Now, I've played turn-based in the past, and I can have fun. It's just not my preference. It's an extra hurdle and an extra curve to get over to start enjoying, and it's just not my cup of tea. So with that said, it is out there, it is a thing, so worth mentioning. Anyways, for the rest of it, we have the next 3 codices announced. That is Imperial Knights, Harlequins, and Ordo Xenos Deathwatch. Well, just Deathwatch, but all of them looking sharp. We're looking forward to them. Harlequins is cool, especially for how they announced it. This is where they basically blatantly refer to the chapter tactic effect, because they make mention how for the first time you'll be able to field your Harlequins, dedicating them to different masks, and they put in parentheses, a bit like fielding different Space Marine chapters, aka the chapter tactic effect that I've talked about I think a while ago, and I will in a future ramble alongside the other stuff that I mentioned already. So that's pretty cool. They didn't have to do this. They're Harlequins. They're a specialized kind of concept already. So it doesn't require this type of addition. But the fact that they're doing it means we might see them get more properly fleshed out than what they are. And that's always a good thing. So really interested to see what goes on with that. The Deathwatch Codex. I've always been a fan of the Deathwatch. Their Codex in 7th edition I really liked. It represents them really well. It just worked. It made Space Marines, which are already elite by nature, feel even more elite and specialized in their roles. And that's really cool. It's going to include Primaris, which I honestly wasn't expecting. I don't know why I wasn't, but I just wasn't. So it's cool to see Primaris in there. I'm sure that'll get some eye rolling and people going, they just came out and they're already getting sucked into the Death Watch. Herc, herc. Hey, what do you expect? It's called marketing, and I could see it, by design. Um, that is something I could definitely see. So, with that said, I welcome it, especially if there is the potential for some type of Primaris upgrade sprue for the Death Watch. I think there will be. I think it'll probably consist really of just shoulder pad stuff and maybe something else here and there. But anything that's that potentially bling out some Primaris past their semi cookie cutter nature, especially because they make mention of mixed Primaris units. So Hellblaster alongside Intercessor and all that. It'd be cool to see them get some type of upgrade sprue. And then you can maybe make use of it outside of Death Watch, just kit bashing things. I don't know. Just a cool concept regardless. So looking forward to that. And for myself, I've always liked the Death Watch Codex as a potential stand-in for accounts as for a customized force. I won't go any further detail on that. I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers before the book even comes out. But yeah, I like that concept. So, anyways, the third book, which might be the first to come out if they're going left to right or up to down in the way they're talking about it, is Codex Imperial Knights. I'm a big fan of Imperial Knights. Me and mechs and stuff get along very nicely. So always nice to see another Imperial Knight Codex. And I gotta say, this one should be pretty cool, a lot more fleshed out, because before Imperial Knights always existed as one kit. It went from being just two entries with really no customization to being, a few more with a little bit of customization. The potential is now we're going to have a decent amount of customization. Plus, looks like we're getting a total of 3 kits, I'm guessing. The Armiger Warglaves from Forgebane will eventually be sold on their own. That's going to be one of the Knight kits, because I'm pretty sure, we'll see that included because they're mini Knights, basically. Then we're going to have the Imperial Knights that we know, the Errants and Paladins and all that. And then we're going to get this new Knight, which looks to be, I think, bigger than the standard Imperial Knights. Not by like leaps and bounds, because they're still Knights. But I think this is Knight Castellan. I think that's this pattern, which has existed in the fluff for a while, so I can't really complain. And even if it didn't, that's fine. I'm all for cool stuff and with lots of firepower, which it seems to have. And this looks to be probably the biggest GW Knight. Probably not, again, by leaps and bounds, but just a bit, and will most likely be its own kit. Now, looking at these arm weapons, I think the arm weapons, which are its main weapons, you could say, I think they're of the size where they could fit on your regular Imperial Knights, and the potential for, let's say, some customization that way, weapon-wise, for standard Knights, could be up there. Again, as pure spitball speculation at this point, but I like it. I like what I see. I will say a couple of things. It definitely feels like a real baby Warlord Titan in terms of style. And while I don't hate that, I can definitely see why people might not be the biggest fan of that. I do like it, however. Another thing is, as much as I like Mecha and Knights and all that, Forge World kind of jumped the shark a bit with all their Knight variants, including the largest Knight model in existence in 40k is made by Forge World. I forget the name of it. It's got big guns. Doesn't really narrow it down at all. It's got a missile pod that's foldable or collapsible on its back, or whatever you want to call it. It's basically a baby Titan, which conceptually you could say was the idea of Knights. The Acastus Knight or whatever. The Porphyrion, I think. I don't know. This Knight is huge from Forge World. And I feel like firepower-wise, it would outclass my Warhound, which shouldn't happen, because even though it's just a Warhound, that I hope is still in good condition and okay pieces, because it's in storage. It won't be in storage for much longer, but it's been in storage for long enough where I have concerns, and that's really not good for that level of kit. But anyways, I just never feel like a knight should by itself should really have the potential to out firepower a titan. The whole point of knights, or the whole concept that knights had for so long, is that it would take a pack of knights to bring down a warhound. But anyways, so I don't think the Knight Castellan from GW will be as big as the Porphyrian Acastus Knight thing, but it should be well sized. And while it is cool, we're also getting kind of titany. We have 3 to 4 different scalings of knights, like we do with titans. I don't know. I just feel like it could quickly go off the rails relatively soon when you combine all the different variants from GW and Forge World, especially considering this is supposed to be a very rare thing, these knights, just like Titans are very rare, but we're getting the variety store capability of these knights. It's just kind of funny. Granted, a lot of the knights shown by Forge World were shown for the Heresy era time period, but still. Anyways, I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing, because I don't really think it is. It's just funny. I like the way it looks. The potential for Knight Households and Free Blades type of chapter tactic effect, again, should be pretty cool. And this, I really like Necrons, really like these guys. I have ideas for both, not together. But my idea for Knights could be some fun if ever I do decide to drop some money on them. That won't be for a while, because they're expensive no matter how you slice it. But I'm really interested to get their codex when it comes out, though, because I want to see what these knights are all about now and what customizations there are potentially. And with that said, lastly, codex-wise, we know it's coming. We knew it was coming regardless, but alongside of it, we are getting Plastic Adepta Sororitas, Plastic Sisters of Battle. 20 plus years in the making, you could say, are finally coming here. I'm so excited for the Sisters of Battle fans. I'm not going to get any of them. I have no interest in playing them. I'm just so glad that they're going to get plastic kits. And they say it's for reals this time. I like that they mentioned the whole concept of Emperor Willing Emperor Willing, they'll come out in 2019. It's a nice little jab. But they're definitely going to come out after this announcement. And really looking forward to that. What I find interesting about it is they're going to keep us in the loop of its development. They're going to share images and snippets of it over the coming months. A little bit of behind the scenes stuff, of how they come to make them into plastic, which is a cool concept in general. But also, as my buddy Matt DeVette from Fearless Games has mentioned to me as we were talking about it, it's like they have to reinforce this is actually happening for all the fans, because it's been so long. A long time coming that people have wanted this. But it is cool. I do plan to talk about Plastic Sisters' potential in my own ramble or two in the future as well, because outside of just making what we have now in plastic, this is the opportunity, of course, to expand their force a bit and what they could do. I have some ideas myself, and I'll make mention of it. I think I talked about this before. If so, I'm talking about it again with the actual concrete knowledge that Plastic Sisters are coming, and some of this could be a very real possibility. Anyways, that was their big bombshell, their best for last announcement. Whether you hate them as an idea, or you hate playing against them, or you love them, you gotta give it up that they're finally becoming plastic. The Sisters of Battle fandom out there has been more or less pretty patiently, some impatiently of course, but have been waiting, and I think have been a really classic example of how to be a fan base of stuff for sure. So hats off to you, finally getting it. I'm looking forward to see how they do and what the models look like and all the good stuff that comes. So anyways, share your thoughts on anything mentioned here in the comments section below. And are you finally happy to see Sisters of Battle coming to plastic, even if you don't play them? I know I am, because they deserve it. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for sticking through it, and until next time, take it easy.